Last week, folks, we suggested that we don't tend to do well with this kind of wish list of a New Year resolution. Anybody else still going with it? A couple. Well done, Nathaniel. Fantastic. Honestly, the rest of us, it's all, best laid intentions. Well, we said last week that it's about who, not what. It's better to take steps once we've considered what kind of person we would like to become, and then practically plan which habits need to stay, which habits need to go, so that we can become the kind of person God is calling us to be. So looking down life's road, where you could end up if you don't break that habit, what could that look like? Based on the kind of person you want to become, what habit or processes do you think you need to consider and take a hard look at, need to break? What attitude, what thoughts, which people even might you need to give less headspace or time to? You see, it's an odd thing, isn't it, life? Have you noticed? I'm fifth. I can't say it. I'm 32. Thank you very much. I'm 55, and 21 seems like a distant memory, doesn't it? When you've passed, Julie, tell me, what's it like at 60? 50 something. See, when you think about it, I mean, as youngsters, Julie, no one ever plans, do they, to live payday to payday? Nobody ever plans in our youth to stress over every pound. And at the end of the month, we're still thinking, well, what did we buy? Where did the money go? Nobody ever plans to become overweight or to suffer poor health or to die young or miss out on the grandkids' retirement. That's your retirement, not the grandkids'. That's asking a lot. Although we did at the funeral on Friday, a lovely elderly lady came up here. She must have been in her 80s, and she said that she met Vida as a teenager in 1924. Yeah. I think she meant 1964. You see, nobody ever plans. None of us plan to get addicted. Nobody ever plans to get angry or out of control. Nobody ever plans to lose the marriage, to lose the respect or the trust of those that we love, our children. Nobody ever plans to live a mediocre life with no passion or no drive or no vision and full of wasted time and regrets. You see, we rarely end up at the wrong place because of one bad moment. One bad choice. You see, there's a pattern. We get into the wrong place, that epic fail moment, one bad habit at a time. One little step at a time. One day at a time. I'm practicing for the next funeral on Friday because you're going to end up singing that on Friday. So it's true, isn't it, Chris? Brilliant. So let me introduce you to strongman Samson. You can read his life story in the Old Testament book of Judges, chapter 13 and 6 to 16. Perhaps you'll know a little bit about Samson. Samson, it was all about his hair. Yeah, do you remember that? He even today, Nazarites, a certain sect, will consider that their strength that is in their hair, and they don't cut it. There is something about their hair. But you and I know his power, his brute force, his ability, his capability wasn't in his hair. It was in his obedience to God. It was in his God. This chap was born, Samson, he was born to a couple who couldn't have children. And God has his hand on this lad, and he sets him apart to begin this process of delivering the nation of Israel from their neighbors, the Philistines. Now, he was born to a strong, domineering mother and an incredibly weak, pathetic father. And he struggles then to relate to men well, and he starts to treat women as sex objects, step by step. Day by day, habit by habit, he becomes weak-willed. He becomes arrogant. He becomes incredibly proud. Do you remember Muhammad Ali, the boxer? You know what I mean? Do you remember him? I can't remember when he was now. I'm going to have to stop doing this, otherwise I might get home and still be doing that. The leading heavyweight boxing champion of the 20th century. And he said of himself this, I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. His promoter, Don King, said, I never cease to amaze myself. And I say that humbly. Huh? I mean, I never cease to amaze myself, but it's usually because I've messed up again and stupidly let myself down. I mean, how arrogant are these guys? You know, but that was Samson all over. Samson's philosophy in life was based on 3 simple principles. I want it, I deserve it, and I can handle it. Thank you very much. And this led to entitlement and pride in Samson. Does it ring any bells to you? There's nothing new under the sun, is there? Samson, the leader, has done pretty well. He's led Israel. He survived as leader for 20 years, but his character sucks. His character stinks. And he's been taking the credit for everything that God has allowed him in his grace and mercy to do. So who knows that it's not your capability that carries you through? Huh? There's not one person on this stage today, as talented as they are, will tell you that it was all about how well they can play the piano or how well they lead or sing. It's the fact that God in his grace allows it and he sees us through. You don't understand perhaps the nerves that goes on before a service. I still, after 30 years, am nervous when I stand up here to speak. And some of you can probably see it. But it's not capability that gets us there. It's our character. And that's what the Spirit is more concerned with. When we talk about serving in the life of our church, we're not just looking for how brilliant you may be. We're looking for your character. We're looking for your competency, but we're looking for character, calling. Your chemistry with the people that you serve alongside. You know something? You can see it, can't you? In our worship team, these guys love each other to bits. They like each other. They get on. They're glad to be here. It helps, doesn't it? Because you could be the best pianist, but put everybody's backs up. Nobody wants to serve with you. That's not Diane, by the way. But you see, Samson his character was a mess. He may have been quite a good leader, but his character couldn't get him there. And the Spirit of God is more concerned with your character than how good you think you might be. Judges 16 says, one day Samson went to Gaza where he saw a prostitute. You're all thinking, oh, bad move. But you know something? That was not the start of it. His bad moves set him up to fail long before he saw the girl. And then later he fell, as we know, for Delilah, a Philistine who trapped him once and for all. His problems didn't start in those moments. His problems started long before that day, that place, that moment of temptation. It started way back when he had that one unaddressed habit after another, after another, after another. He walked to Gaza. There's a lot of people been walking to Gaza lately, haven't there? He walked to Gaza. At the time, it was the Philistines' headquarters, and he was asking for it. He convinced himself that he was untouchable, that he was invincible, and what an arrogant muppet he was. Gaza was 25 miles from his home in Zorah. That's pretty much Telford, all right? It's the edge of Birmingham, isn't it? 25 miles. Lichfield, about, roughly. That's roughly 56,000 steps. He had 56,000 steps of opportunity to turn around and do a U-turn, to break his arrogant cycle of stupidity, to realize and to wake up to the fact that he was going to risk so much for so little. And you know, countless people do it every single day. Even the strongest looking Christian that you may sit next to in church every Sunday can betray God over the stupidest little thing. Why? Because they've lost sight of who they want to become in Him and for Him. And that one bad and unaddressed habit has led quietly to another behind the scenes, behind the smiling face, behind the serving. See, next week we're going to be thinking about what new habits we need to start based on who we want to become. But let me ask you today, based on who you want to become, who are you becoming? What habit do you need to break? We sung about it today. That He's able to break every chain. Do you believe that? I'm not. I'll help you. I'll listen to you. We will bring some advice if you want us to, and we'll journey and pray with you and all of that. I said, but I can't do it. But I know a man and a God who can. He can help you. He can break every chain. And I'm not asking you or suggesting that you tackle all of your bad habits by Tuesday this week. Not at all. I mean, I'm spoilt for choice. You ask Mark. I'm spoilt for choice as to which one I'm going to start with. But let's start in prayer. And let's ask God to help prepare the ground as we consider how we move forward to the person that God is calling and creating us to be. James 1:21 says, get rid of every filthy habit and all the wicked conduct. Submit to God and accept the word that He plants in your hearts, which is able to save you. Bad habits. Now, I have no difficulty in starting new bad habits. Anybody else? It's so easy. I hardly know I've done it. When it comes to starting a bad habit, brilliant, easy, not a problem to me. But stopping, well, that's a different story, isn't it? Different story. You know, as a teenager, I used to smoke my dad's cigars, not just cigarettes. We'd be sneaking out the back of the house, me and my sister, and he got these massive, big Cuban-y kind of massive cigars, look like Churchill, you know. And we'd be smoking them, and he hadn't got a clue. Thankfully, I didn't get addicted. But we all know what it's like. We sneak out perhaps for a vape or a cigarette as a teenager, and we got that instant result of, I mean, it made me sick half the time. I know, it was stupid, wasn't it? But it got this instant result. Suddenly we're calm. Suddenly we're able to cope. Whatever it is, I don't know. But we'll think, well, I'll do it again. But we don't like to think about the cancers it brings on decades later. But in the moment, quick fix, nice. You see, you can eat, you can enjoy the comfort food, the culinary delights, whatever you want to call them, fish and chips and Pringles and donuts for years before you're diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, all down the road. You can ignore the words of good friends who are concerned for the company you may be keeping, the attitude that you've kind of started to take on board, and you're leaking over people, and maybe your language has changed. Maybe you're not quite so temperate as you used to be. The way you're acting has changed. But that happens. The ignoring of their comments and their concerns for you comes long before you become isolated, long before friends are tolerating you. Do you know, oh, it's just Helen. She's always been like that. I hope people never say that of me. Maybe you already are. I don't know, but just don't tell me. I don't want to be tolerated, do you? I want to hear people in time. So based on who we want to become, how do we break bad habits? Here's the thing. Number one, get it out in the open. You know? Confess it. Acknowledge it to yourself. Confess it. You cannot defeat what you cannot define. What one habit do you need to own up to yourself as even having? You see, you might not spend every evening playing the video games into the early hours. You may not be on your screens, on your phones and everything for 8 hours of screen time every single day, or watching box sets till the early morning and then absolutely struggle to get to work in the morning. You may not be so addicted to porn that you even have to watch it on the bus on your way to work nowadays. And believe you me, that's the point that it can get to. Substance abuse. Whether it's sugar or food or nicotine or alcohol or prescription or illegal drugs, may not be your bad habit, but it may perhaps be an attitude that you carry, an attitudinal habit that you have. You've just become more critical or more cynical and gossipy. Maybe you just become a bit more whiny, selfish. I'll throw a few things out for you. Maybe the Spirit is highlighting a few things to you personally. It might be that you just become a little bit more thoughtless and arrogant, or you've let life wear you down and the glass has become a little bit more half empty nowadays than half full. But it's starting, I hope, to dawn on you that you're perhaps not the encourager that you once were. Perhaps you're not so tender-hearted. Maybe you're not that word in season balcony person at the moment, lifting other people up. Maybe your spouse or friends are having to talk you up or calm you down more. Maybe your defense is, well, it's just who I am. Hear yourself. Think about it. Little habits. Whatever your habit is, folks, there's hope. You are sat in a church of people who have managed to slowly and are continue to slowly address habits with the Spirit and His Word at hand. So who do you want to become? Who does Jesus say you are? Remember to start there. And then work out the goals, the steps of change that will need to be taken to get you there. Not the other way around. We're quick to say, I want this, I'm going to do that, I want that, as opposed to the other way around. So how do you break a bad habit? Here's, I tell you folks, I'm talking real incredible stuff here today. I mean, it's a wonder you'll ever get it, right? Point number 2, make it difficult to do. Ugh. Rocket science this, isn't it? If it's a good habit, do the opposite, obviously. But make it difficult to do. See, I don't have as much willpower and personal discipline as I'd like to think. In 2006, I lost quite a bit of weight. And I did it by watching that woman on the telly. What was it? Gillian McKeith. Do you remember her? She was scary, wasn't she? She used to scare the living daylights out of me every week. I watched it. And then I started trying to find more of her stuff because she was scary and she scared me into losing weight. And she, basically I stopped walking up the crisp aisle in the supermarket. I lived on my own. So if it was fattening, I didn't allow it in my house. Now anything goes, doesn't it, in our house? When you've got a family, you can't choose so much, can you? I didn't allow it in. And then the spirit of Samson, if you like, arose in me. I suddenly thought, I'm a strong woman. Look at me. I'm a strong woman, and I'm going to just treat myself to some salt and vinegar Pringles, and no one will know. I'm going to eat 5 a day. That's what I said to myself. Tubes. My husband knows me well, doesn't he? 5 a day. No, I didn't. I finished the lot and then I went back to the corner shop for more. How wrong I was, how weak I am. Proverbs 4 says, do not set foot on the path of the wicked or walk in the way of evildoers. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Turn from it and go on your way. You see, loosely translated, that proverb tells us not to keep driving past our favourite kebab shop after work. That's loosely translated saying, stop hanging out with the people who drag you down all the time. Find another route. Get some better life-affirming balcony people, pals in the mix. Move on. You see, here's where we all are with one habit, bad habit or another. We're on a loop. We're on a habit loop. Let's show that habit loop, guys. There's a trigger. I'm tired. I can't be bothered to cook. Anybody else think that? Yeah. How often do we do that? I cook every night. Yeah. I'm tired. I can't be bothered to cook. I'm just going to go to the corner shop. I'm just going to get a packet of Pringles. And honestly, over the years when I was single, I would eat crisps instead of a meal because it was quick. It was easy. And then I'd go off to the Bible study and lead that. doing one thing for my soul, but the rest, bad habits. I can't be bothered to cook, pop to the corner shop, buy crisps, there's the action, right? There's my loop. And I go and I eat, and that short-term reward is that I haven't had to cook after a long day's work, and I'm full, I'm happy, and there's no change to my waistline yet. But if we remove the trigger, we interrupt the loop, okay? So when it comes to bad habits, there are five major triggers. Trigger number one, place. Where are the places that you go that will trigger temptation for you? You see, no one, have you noticed, ever overeats in the gym? Not that I can tell you I've been lately, but nobody overeats in the gym. But they will if you keep going and sitting in the carvery. Nobody gets drunk or high at church, but you will if you keep popping home every night via the pub and your pals. Trigger number two, time. There are certain times in the day that are not so healthy for us. Late night. Somebody just recently I was chatting to in church, and it's lovely, a great character. The biscuit tin. It's a challenge to keep away from when you're on your own and it's late evening. You start getting the munchies. And there's a lovely full biscuit tin. And let's face it, late at night, computers, gadgetry, etc., is when we're more vulnerable to abusing those things as well as our own bodies. Laptops, late at night, bored and alone. Classic triggers. I'm not going to mention them. You know what I'm saying. We've done the porn series, haven't we? Here's another trigger. Trigger number three, mood. Some of us are at our weakest when we're tired, when we get hangry, yeah? We're hungry and we get angry, or maybe we're lonely or whatever. The bear awakes in us. And we're more likely to get angry. We're more likely to leak, spill over, offend people, make stupid judgment calls, or post these classic self-pity and stupid naffed off stuff on Facebook. Yes? True? Or we'll post pictures on Snapchat and Instagram that we regret the next day. There's another trigger moment. Trigger number four, that moment when you have a row with your husband can be, or wife, can be a trigger to call all girlfriends and all our girlfriends. So if for example, if I have an argument with Mark, I could call my mates, all my girlfriends, and then have a man-bashing moan about him. I could. It'd be so easy, wouldn't it? It's an easy trap to fall into. It doesn't do us or them any good. It could be after your footy team lose on a Saturday afternoon. Sorry, Stoke. I don't know where you are, but nonetheless, I always feel sorry for Stoke. Don't know what that is. And you go after the footy to your first beer from the fridge of the night before the final score is even declared. Triggers. My dad used to get so angry when he watched England play. So he stopped watching England play. And if he watched England play, he watched it after he knew the score. He was much happier, and it was a much better person to live with. He got rid of the trigger. Another trigger, people. Some people we meet up with can also trigger bad habits in us. Debbie's one of my people. She's a feeder, isn't she? She's a feeder. Would you like something to eat, Helen? Would you like something to eat? Can I get you some? Oh, sorry. Which one are you? Northern. I have no idea. I don't know. That's as best as you're going to get from me. Would you like something to eat, Helen? Would you like something? She's feeding me all the time, which is so lovely. So I keep away from her. You see, if you're hungry, see Debbie. Studies tracked 12,000 people for 32 years. And they showed that the closer we are to someone, the more likely we are to accept and copy their behaviours. As kids, we're really impressionable, aren't we? And I don't know whether, I think I've mentioned this before, but at the age of 6, my friend Lynn Sargent did this grunt thing. Do you remember? Have I said this? She kind of walked around going, You're right, Lynn. I'm all right, thank you. And you know, 1 year of being at school with Lynn Sargent, I started going home going, My mother went spare. She really did. I developed the same habit. And I drove my mother mad for years, and eventually I got out of it. You see, we laugh, don't we? You know, if you have, wait for it, if you have an obese friend, your chances of becoming fat goes up by 57%. Honestly. Read it in Proverbs. No, you can't. But it's true. It's true. Now, I blame my friend Mary for me becoming fat. And now I blame Mark. No. I blame me. I blame me. If you lose weight, a third of your close friends are also likely to lose weight. I'm looking at no one now. 3,000 years ago, King Solomon nailed this when he observed it, and he said this: walk with the wise, and you will become wise. Yeah? I changed that, walk with the thin. No. He says, a companion of fools suffers harm. The Black Country version goes like this: if you don't want to be saft, stay away from the saft. You see, be careful who you keep close. It's almost impossible to live right lives alongside all the wrong friends. I'm not suggesting you go home now and remove all the wrong friends. You are a light and a witness and a love to them. But when you are with the wrong friends consistently, I tell you, you're on dodgy territory. Your positioning is everything. He says, don't be misled, Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15. Bad company corrupts what? Good character. What are your triggers, folks? Remove the trigger, interrupt the action. If you hit the snooze button on your Monday morning alarm 4 times, often miss the bus, start work in a mood or on a back foot, either start going to bed 15 minutes earlier a night for a week till you develop a healthier sleeping pattern, and then add another 15 minutes earlier a night the following week. Don't change your alarm. Don't change your bedtime for like 2 hours. You're never going to make it, are you? Just little bits, incremental bits, changes. Develop sleeping habits that are better for you. Move your alarm clock. There's another one, in it. So you have to get out of your bed to turn it off. And some of us will still be sleeping or trying to sleep with it going, what, over the other side of the room for 5 or 6 minutes before we do. But move your alarm, move your phone further away. So you have to get up. What are your triggers? If you're overspending on Amazon, give your friend and family member permission to ask why you need it before you buy it. Let them have the password if you like, if you trust them, obviously, before you start buying anything for a little while. See if you can help. That helps you break the patterns. Mark has got addicted to, Monopoly. You know, there's an app called Monopoly. He's become addicted. He's become addicted to Monopoly because he needed to get out of the habit of watching reels. He just one habit after another. But, you know, now he's addressing himself on that. I'm only going to pick on your habits because I don't have any. So now he's bought a book for his phone, and now he's starting to read that. He's trying to stop the habits. And I encourage him in this. Now, if you're storing or watching inappropriate images on your phone late at night, can I encourage you, lock it away, leave it downstairs, turn it off, whatever it is, even if you have to leave it in the car boot, leave it at work, wherever you like. Anything but by your bed. Stop the triggers. There are websites that can limit your watching and what you're looking for this stuff. And if you're not sure about that, pretend you're a parent and come to left to their own devices on a Monday night. Ask somebody to be your accountability partner. This is hard stuff, folks. But if we're going to live well for Jesus, it's not about just coming to church and clapping and singing a few songs, is it? It's about allowing His Spirit and His Word to change and transform our lives. Get an accountability partner who will ask you every week, have you been watching porn? Share with them. You defeat it even by sharing it with someone you trust. I mean, don't ask them in the foyer, will you? All right? Appropriately. Because you're either going to lie to your pal, you're either going to suffer embarrassment, or you're going to actually start that process of change. Acknowledge the habit, make it difficult to do, and interrupt the action, the cycle. Whatever the addiction, the habit, the gambling, the sex, the drugs, drink, whatever it is, don't live in fear about being found out anymore. Get it in the light. As He is in the light, walk in the light. Own up to it. Don't let it rob you of any more headspace, friendships, time, treasures, talents, or character. Find your triggers and talk to someone about it that you trust. Do something. I mean, why have to try and resist temptation when it's staring in your face tomorrow if you have the power of it to eliminate it with God's help today, to nip it in the bud today? The habits you have today will shape who you become tomorrow. Do you like the direction your habits are taking you? If you're in that doubt about it, folks, play it forward in your head. What could life look like down the line? I mean, if only Samson would have done this. Judges, have a read of that story, Judges 13 to 16. Think of the negative things that could happen if you continue to do it. Because most of us will be saying, it's not a big deal. No, really, it's not a big deal. It's not that big a deal now, but I'm always last to leave work. In 10 years' time, what's that going to look like? In 10 years' time, I don't want to look back and wish I'd spent more time with my family and my children. Because in 10 years' time, they'll be leaving home, going to university, blah, 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 blah. Did they really need to go to all those clubs? Did they really need to have the best of it? Did they really need all of that stuff? Did I really need to spend so much time working 3 jobs when actually 2 would have been plenty? Balance. It's not a big deal now, but what about? I'm naturally a flirt. That's not me, you understand. I'm just giving you examples, all right? I'm naturally a flirt. That's what we often will say if we're kind of flirty in our behavior. My wife knows me. You know, women just naturally warm to me. They think my wife's a lucky woman. I've heard it all before. They say I'm easy to talk to. Folks, in 10 years' time, play it forward. And think about it. Do you want to lose your marriage? Do you want to lose your kids' respect? Do you want to lose everything you've worked hard for and considered precious? Think about it. Play it forward. But I wish I'd never started. No idea how this would ruin my life. You may have friends and family members who have said those things to you. Believe you me, in pastoral life, you hear it. You hear it. Remove the trigger, interrupt the action. But Helen, I'm weak. When I am weak, He is. Remember, Christ in you is stronger than the wrong desire in you. Saturate yourself in His promises and His words of truth in your life. Sing the songs that we sing. Sing the words of truth over yourself more than you listen to Radio 1, Radio 2. Nothing wrong with any of it. I like it and all. But balance is so important. Surround yourself with good balcony people. You know, unlike Samson, you may not have 56,000 steps before temptation strikes. So can I challenge you today? Stop. Stop it. Stop and turn around now before you take another step. Better to put a fence at the top of the cliff than have to rely on an ambulance at the bottom. What is your fence? What habit is God nudging you about today? For some of you, it may be habits. And let me finish with this. Imagine this little clip. I'm going to show you a little clip. So I'm going to finish with this. But imagine the little dominoes are habits. Little habits. Just a second. Those little things that you don't give any weight to right now. Not even perhaps a second thought for most of the time. They represent those little things that you explain away as, it's not a big deal. It's all right. They're people, it's just me, everybody. And imagine the biggest domino is everything and everyone who is precious to you. Your health, your family, your future. Take a look, because this is basically it. Makes you think. And it doesn't have to end that way. You can put something in that process that will stop those dominoes triggering forward. There's no trickery in that video. That's what can happen. And those little dominoes can tip the biggest thing. Never underestimate how a tiny habit can grow into something that can break you, rob you, distract you, divert you. But here's the hope thing, folks. Never underestimate how God can start something special in you. Never underestimate how God can break something addictive in you and can transform your life when you surrender everything to Him each day. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin in you. Stick with it, folks. Don't give up. Would you pray with me? You've listened so well. For a moment, let's just pause, and then we'll sing. Who are you becoming? We're going to talk about good habits next week that we might need to start. And for now, it's the Spirit convicting you. You don't need to air your dirty wash in here. I don't need to know it all, but the Spirit of God sees and loves you. He doesn't condemn you. You might have had other Christians condemn you over the years, but He will never condemn you. But He will convict you because He loves you. What are those little dominoes? What is He challenging in you? What is He spotlighting in your plethora of perhaps habits today that aren't helpful or healthy to you? What habit do you need to break? And in these moments, let's not think about lunch or who's put the kettle on. Is there a bad habit that God is spotlighting for you today? Then just in the quietness of your heart, acknowledge it and ask Him to help you. Ask for His forgiveness. Ask Him to help you. Father, would you wake us up to who we are? Honest with ourselves, with you, and with each other. Father, we want to be people who don't simply quote Bible and verse, but that we apply it, we live it, we love it, and we allow it to transform our own lives, our character. Would you help us to glimpse what we could be today, what we could become in you? Help us to be real about the negatives, the consequences of those many little bad decisions. domino decisions, unhealthy friendships, bad habits, rather than just enjoying the short-term highs of those things. Father, would you show us the triggers that we need to see so that we can break those loops, the habit loops? Show us the people we can trust and ask for help and be accountable to with some of the trickier things that we need to break in our lives today. Father, would you help us? Help us to take action. Help us to take captive the thoughts. Help us to break the habits and take hold of the plans and the purpose that you have for our lives. For your glory we pray. In Jesus' name. Amen.